So I finally caught the Superstars movie on screen today, 2.0. I'm sure by now that you guys have seen a lot of online reviews, you guys would have seen a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of written reviews about this movie as well. I thought I'd like to share my thoughts on this as well. Along with the reviewers, I thought I'd give a little bit of commentary on them as well. So stay tuned for that part. For now, let's just jump into the film.
Chitty, the robot.
Okay, so this movie is directed by Shankar. Shankar and Rajinikanth team up again this time for the spiritual successor of Enthiran. But when I went into the movie, I found out that it was a direct sequel. Earlier, these people were saying that it was a spiritual successor, but it was not the case. This is a direct sequel to the first movie. I think Enthiran came out in 2010 and we have 2.0 in 2018. Enthiran dealt with some good concepts, to be exact. Enthiran had the AI versus the creator concept. Enthiran had the Frankenstein monster concept as well. But 2.0 didn't have any such complex themes. 2.0 had the standard good versus evil concept. But in this case, we are not able to identify what is evil and what exactly is good over here. So I'm kind of left confused on that end as well.
செல்போன்கள் திடீர் மால் மக்கள் வீதி குழப்பத்தில் காவல்துறை.
So 2.0 is an out-and-out superstar film. Just so you understand what a superstar film is, this is one movie where Rajinikanth does anything and everything and we are supposed to, go along with it because we have sci-fi added into the mix. Earlier Rajinikanth was doing content-driven films, Kabali and Kala. I can't say it worked out really well for him. However, 2.0, I'm 100% sure that this movie is going to be a huge blockbuster. Let me add this well in advance and say that you guys have to go and watch this movie in the theatre. Not because this is one of the best movies that you have ever seen or not because this is amazingly content driven. No such thing. This movie is a visual effects extravaganza. It's been a long time since I enjoyed 3D in such a fashion. This movie was 2 hours and 28 minutes of pure guilty pleasure fun. This movie was an out and out Talaivar show. Now that's the thing. There's 2 hours and 28 minutes of Rajinikanth in different avatars over here. Too much of anything is not good. I always say that. I felt like an overdose happened in this film for me. So, I don't know. I'm left mixed about it. But Rajinikanth's performance was charismatic in every other sense whatsoever. Any avatar that he was playing on screen, he played it to perfection. Now, I still wonder if at 65 any actor will be able to play such roles in his caliber and swag. That's for a fact.
I am Chitty, reloaded, version 2.0.
Akshay Kumar plays a perfect foil as the antagonist over here. He plays a person called Pakshirajan. Now, Pakshirajan sounds like the most kiddish name that you can come up with, but we have our reasons over here in this film also. He has a nice emotional backstory that kicks in the second half, and we understand why he's the antagonist as well. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't seem like he's an antagonist. That's the problem. I mean, the stuff that he says is actually good, but the way he goes about it is wrong. That's the only reason why Chitty, Dear Robot and Pakshirajan come in clashing terms. That's about it for the film.
Cell phone வச்சிருக்கிற ஒவ்வொருத்தன கொலைகாரனுங்க அத பார்த்தாலே மனுஷங்க அலறி அடிச்சுட்டு ஓட போறானுங்க பாரு.
This film had close to 1,000 technicians working on it, and the major ones being A.R. Rahman is scoring the music this time, and Rasul Pukuti doing the sound design. The action when it goes down, I feel like I was right in the middle of it. That's how good the visual effects and the sounds combined made this film. Truly a spectacle to behold.
Get you, let you wreck yourself, we coming now. 10,000 fighters by my side, I'm about to shoot them down. Bow down like no man, I bow down like no man.
What I found disappointing about this film was not the story. Even though the story might be plain and simple, it did work for me. I found that the tone was quite inconsistent. At times I feel like this movie was going for the emotional side of things. At times this movie was going for the funnier side of things, but the jokes were not landing. At times I felt like this movie was an out and out sci-fi thriller, and a lot of things came into play over here, and the tone was quite inconsistent throughout the film. I mean, once the climax hits, the climax which everyone are so famously talking about, yes, truly, that is something. But once the climax progresses, we reach in the last 10 minutes where it reaches a whole new level of absurdity, which I can't possibly define. You guys have to go see for yourself to believe on that. There's an interesting addition to the cast. Amy Jackson plays Neela, another andro-humanoid robot like Chitty. However, she doesn't have much to do over here except, be a love interest and at times shake a leg as well. Now, that's kind of like my problem over here as well. The supporting cast has nothing to do over here. Now, it's only 2 hours and 28 minutes of Rajinikanth. For example, if I have to list out the cast, it would be Vasigaran, Chitty 2.0, and someone else, again Rajinikanth. I can list 500 Rajinikanths. I think that's how much I saw in the film as well. Wow. So in all honesty, my rating for this movie would be this. Okay. Now I honestly hoped it could have been better, but I gotta go on the 60-40 ratio. Now let me, why I said this is very simple. Even though this movie is a fun ride from start to finish, this movie had no strong foothold to leave a permanent imprint in our head. The only imprint that I can remember is the visual effects and the 3D going for it, but apart from that, nothing else. This movie will be lapped up by everyone. I mean, this is something that you guys can go as a family and enjoy because it was a fun and thrill ride. Just leave your brains behind and enjoy as much as possible. Last but not the least, I'd like to talk about my dear online reviewers and the people who write reviews as well. Now, for the most part, I found your reviews to be fine. But let me make it very clear. You guys, there are a certain section of reviewers out there who are complete idiots. Not for disgracing the movie, but for discussing the entire story in a review. Now, there are reviewers out there for the Hindustan Times and the News Minute who are actually discussing scenes of the film. There were so many spoilers that I knew well in advance because I had read a particular review. So I was kind of expecting that those scenes to come up. I could expect those scenes to happen. So the surprise element was left out for me completely. And it's all because of these shoddy shitty online reviewers, the content that you guys write. Please, can you please be a little more diligent about the content that you write? And, leave out the spoilers at the door and, just talk about the movie. Talk about the technical aspects about it. Talk how good it is. Recommend to the audience whether it's watchable or not. Who cares about the story? I would like to go through the movie myself and find out what the story is. Don't put that thought process in my head. Now that's something that you reviewers, most of you reviewers out there are doing wrong. And there's this idiot called Blue Satin Maran who is on another level of stupidity altogether. Now he discussed the entire movie in his 10-minute review. It was the most stupidest thing I ever saw, and I was cursing myself as to why I saw it. There's another clever bunch of people out there who keep saying, you know what, I can see anything on Tamil Rockers. Good for you. You guys have to see it on Tamil Rockers. But for the people who actually want a different experience, for the people who actually want to see something different that has come out of Indian cinema in a very long time, I suggest you go and watch this movie. It is a definite enjoyment and a fun thrill ride that you will not regret, paying your money for. That's something that I can guarantee you one. So thank you so much for watching my review, guys. This is Siddharth saying bye bye for now, and I'll catch you for more reviews later. Take care.